Turkey and Israel, which are constantly facing off militarily, are the countries with the strongest military power in the militarily. As a military ranking, Turkey is the 8th most powerful military power in the world. Israel is the 17th most powerful military power in the world. As for the number of soldiers, Turkey has 883,900 soldiers. 350,000 of these soldiers are active, 378,000 are reservists. Israel has 650,000 soldiers, and 170,000 of these soldiers are active, 465,000 are reservists. In terms of the number of soldiers, Turkey has more soldiers than Israel. The Turkish ground forces have 2,300 tanks, 10,000 armored vehicles, about 500 towed artillery systems, and 286 missile systems. The tank models owned by Turkey are Leopard 2A4s and M48 tanks. The only tank that can be considered modern is the Leopard 2A4S. As for armored vehicles, there are BMC and many armored vehicle systems in the inventory. The TRG-300 missile system as a missile system and storm howitzers as towed artillery are in the inventory. The Israeli ground forces have 1,370 tanks and 8,000 armored vehicles and 650 self-propelled artillery and 150 MLRs. The Israeli ground forces have Sabra model tanks. The ground forces have A-10 and Humvee vehicles as armored vehicles. It has M107S as a howitzer and M270S as a multiple missile system. Although the Turkish ground forces have a large number of tanks and many systems in terms of the number of ground forces, Israel has more modern weapons in a modern weapons. When it comes to ballistic missiles, it is known that Turkey has the J-600T ballistic missile with a range of 600 kilometers. Israel, on the other hand, has a 6,500 kilometer range of Jericho missiles in its inventory. As a missile range, Israel has more range. Turkey has 1,069 aircraft. These aircraft comprise 205 combat aircraft, 83 transport aircraft, and 275 training aircraft, 502 helicopters, and 111 attack helicopters. The main fighter aircraft of the Turkish Air Force are F-16 Falcons and F-4 Phantoms. As for transport aircraft, there are a 400M and C-130 Hercules and T-129s as attack helicopters in the inventory. The Israeli Air Force has 610 aircraft. The Israeli Air Force has 241 combat aircraft, 10 transport aircraft, 150 training aircraft, 146 helicopters, and 48 attack helicopters. These fighter jets have an inventory that includes many fighter jets such as the F-16 Sofa and F-15, the C-130s as transport aircraft. Although the Turkish Air Force has more aircraft than Israel in terms of number, Israel's warplanes are more modern warplanes. The Turkish Navy is the best navy in the region. Israel does not have ships to compete with this navy, but it has warships at a sufficient level for Israel. Turkey has 186 ships. These ships consist of 1 helicopter carrier, 16 frigates, and 9 corvettes, 12 submarines, and 34 coastal defense ships, and 11 mine ships. The Turkish Navy, which has the TCG Anadolu as a helicopter carrier, has Barbaros-class warships as frigates, Sword-class ships as corvettes, and Barbaros-class ships as submarines. The Israeli Navy has 67 ships. This number of ships is a sufficient number for Israel. The Navy has 7 corvettes, 5 submarines, and 40 coastal defense ships. The Navy has a few modern corvettes as corvettes. The Israeli Navy has submarines in the Dolphin class as submarines.